Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where we are continuing on in the fourth case of the game, The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Which I'm hoping that we're gonna finally be getting to the trial soon, because this investigation portion has felt like it's taking a very long time. Alright, this annoying couple here. They're so ridiculous. At least we solved that mystery. It's these dashed really? Okay. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. But yeah, but look what that caused. And in the pages of one particular novel you discovered some rather illicit material. Oh my. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. Yep. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. Personally, I would have preferred the flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Ah, I was wondering about that. Over here, Mr. Garridebs? Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Gosh. And the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming, 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is I lost my favorite, book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Oh yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. Well, yeah. Looks like even though you were wrong about the whole lion thing, you were right about that, kind of? I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Holmes's deductions turned out to be correct once again. It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick at full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think. So, at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Huh. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. So, all of this doesn't seem like it's connected to the murder, but I feel like it must be, right? Nothing happens without a reason in these games, so... I don't know. But if they were indoors, it's not like they could be outdoors committing the murder or causing the murder to happen. Oh wait, she's not dead. The accident, whatever. She's still alive, but we don't know anything about the victim, and I feel like we're coming close to the trial, and I'm like, we're kind of going in blind, aren't we? Great.
The whole blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really? We're all thinking, well, now what? Mr. Holmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garridebs' situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? Yep. Oh boy. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not. He did say that. I just knew you were going to say that. No, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is it that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. Come on, just do it, man. He needs you. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrido. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. So she's still gonna be stuck pretending to be his maid, huh? That sucks. Thank you both very much for your time. Saseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Alright, let's head on out to the prison. Okay, February 19th, Briar Road. It's interesting that we stopped here, considering that I clicked on the prison. I think I clicked on the prison. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's hail a carrot. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garridebs' house. Huh? What the? I thought... What? That's a little more old-fashioned than I expected. And, you think is he like royalty? What? Is he an actor? What is this? Okay. I need a voice for him. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Oh, new characters. Oh dear. Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Okay, he's like a thespian, an actor of like Shakespearean play or something, the way he talks. Who's this Horatio fellow, eh? What are you on about?
Excuse me.
What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Don't just go throwing out like he's gonna take another case. A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Fine, I'll be on me way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet. Oh boy. Get thee to a nunnery! Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? Either next case, or are they gonna have some importance with this case?
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was all that about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but...
Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
Are you a lodger here? In the Garridebs residence?
Oh, so he's the other one who stays there, right? That means he's pretty poor then, despite how he looks. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Garridebs mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Oh, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. More worthy a polemist in my battle of words never could there be. Sorry? Battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
So, fair maiden, so, good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. Okay.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. You sure about that? With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garridebs house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Okay. That was an interesting encounter. Oh! Mr. Shifty Eyes. What's up, bro? Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Look of student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I can't believe you came back! I'm so touched! Oh boy.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no! Think nothing of it! Relax! If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Your cat is really cute, though. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese! Oh, now, let's not get carried away. And I quite agree. I feel like this is Sherlock.
There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. Is it, Sherlock? On the other hand, yep, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. You followed us here. Such is my belief, at least. Because, I mean, they didn't say he was coming with them, but it makes sense that he would. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Sherlock Sholmes! No, it's Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, what are you doing here? We could have just taken a cab together.
Or carriage. I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Holmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room. Oh, was there something, pertaining to the case in one of the books? And having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option.
Wow.
Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you! Sherlock Sholmes!
It's Sherlock Holmes, actually. Flip that around.
I kind of want to have him say his name wrong all the time. Anyway. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. Ooh, excuse me. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean.
Huh. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words.
What?
Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, we haven't... Oh, I was gonna say, can we look around, but I guess not. Alright.
Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed?
Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? It kind of is, with Van Zeek's gonna be the prosecutor, right?
Are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please, tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words.
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever.
Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly. Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGill did. I mean, he kind of deserved it, but still.
What? Oh, I am impressed, Mr. Soto. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Holmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Von Zieks killed the man himself.
No, I don't think so. Oh no, he couldn't have, surely. You have some wonderful notions.
Sorry?
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. Huh? What do you mean by that? See? Me and Ryunosuke on the same level.
What on earth do you mean by that?
Okay. I do love Van Zieks' music. It's so dramatic. I love it. I'm a sucker for an organ, you know? Gothic cathedral music. It's so great. Von Zieks is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Oh, that's good.
Soseki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion, in particular, is somewhat easily manipulated. Yes, we saw that firsthand.
Right.
Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage, by any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. Yeah, even in this day and age, it still happens. And sadly, is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's all right.
However, those indicted by Lord Von Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. I think it's Thames. That's what I think I heard in the Professor Layton game. It looks like Thames, but I think it's Thames, which is strange, but you know how it is. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. That's not good. I'm gonna faint. I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed. Let's talk about your cursed lodgings again.
When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garridebs' house, I assume? Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's really creepy. It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. Is that why you act the way you do now? Maybe he wasn't always like this. They were always staring at me all the time from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it! But if not, then don't mention it in the first place!"
Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed then?
Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Look straight at Naruhodo. Puppy dog eyes.
It's like, ah, shoot, I can ignore the puppy dog eyes. No!
Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all?
To believe. Yes, to believe.
Alright.
Mr. Holmes.
Oh, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Burya, if you recall.
The Burya. Oh, that case. The one with the snake. Yes, the one where his beloved partner and best friend and lover died.
Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe me?
I see, yes, you mean... Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room.
Well, if you like, yes, you gotta put it that way, damn. Savage.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
And I guess, you know, this is before the modern times where we have this saying, which is... It's a great saying to have, right? Innocent until proven guilty. But it's not something that is easily actually believed in, you know? There's plenty of times that we'll see or hear something in the news and we'll be like, oh, they did it. You know, we just believe it wholeheartedly based on the evidence or based on whatever, right? But then that's the point of our system, to have defense attorneys who are defending these people because they're saying, well, right now, I'm choosing to believe that my client is innocent, and I'm going to look through the evidence and I'm going to go through the testimony and I'm going to try to prove that fact. And it's the prosecution's job to do their due diligence and do their research and all of the, you know, investigation in order to prove that, yes, they are guilty. And it's really tough, you know, but it's good because otherwise people who are innocent are just going to be right off the bat declared guilty without any trial, without any
justice, right? So it's interesting that they're addressing this in this way, that, you know, he has to realize that you can't just start off with everybody just being guilty. You have to believe they're innocent, and then if it's proven that they're guilty, then it's like, okay, yeah, you're guilty. Anyway, I can get off my soapbox now. It's really high up and it's hard for me to climb up there, so I'm just kidding.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts? You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Holmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Whether or not I can believe myself.
Oh, my Kazuma, my beloved. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. Oh, he's such a Mia. Man, him and Mia both so hot. Both dead so soon. It pisses me off. And now we don't even have the option of having him come back in somebody else's body. Although I don't know if I'd be okay with that, because he's so hot. Nobody else, like, would be able to even look as hot as him, unless it's another hot guy. I don't know. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Oh.
You were so right, Kazuma.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh, I wish I could have some trout.
Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there?
No kidding.
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Oh. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Just call me Naruhodo, please. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even.
And I guess it makes sense that he's been so shaken because he knew by the end that his client was guilty. And he didn't like that he got off scot-free, you know? So, I think that's what's really causing all of this issue within himself right now, so I'm glad that he's getting over it, though.
But I think I've finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else. To trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so touched. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end.
Annoying couple.
Mrs. Sato,
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Aw, that's cute. Y'all so cute.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Holmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him. To fight.
To fight his corner. Typo.
To fight in his corner.
Not to fight his corner.
Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster.
Alright, finally. Finally, we're gonna be getting to the trial. I feel like it's taken so long just to get to this point. Jeez. This is a long one. Especially if there's 2 parts of the trial, which I don't know yet. Alright, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And in the next one, I guess we'll be starting the trial. So, until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.